صبح سے بات ہو رہی کہ کیا ہم خالی چھوڑ سکتے ہیں یا نہیں چھوڑ سکتے ہیں. کیا یہ پارٹیز جو ہیں اس کیس میں اسپیشل سیٹ کے سچویشن میں ان کی پوزیشن سیکنڈری نہیں ہو جاتی؟ دس از اے ریپرزنٹیشن آف وومن. ہم کیسے وومن کو ریپرزنٹیشن کو ہم خالی چھوڑ دیں, ان کو ریپرزنٹیشن نہ دیں؟ کیا یہ ایسا نہیں ہے کہ پارٹیز جو ہے ان کی نمبر جسٹ فار دی پرپز آف ڈسٹریبیوشن ان کو نمبر دیے, سیکنڈری پوزیشن ان کی آتی, مین پوزیشن مائنارٹیز اینڈ وومن ان کو ریپرزنٹیشن دینی ہے. تو یہ دو باتیں ہیں کہ کیا یہ ول آف دی پیپل ہے؟ ول آف دی پیپل تو ڈائریکٹ الیکشن میں ہوتا ہے, میں فلاں کینڈیڈیٹ کی فلاں پارٹی کو دیتا ہوں, اس کے بعد یہ لسٹ آتی ہے, لسٹ ڈسکس نہیں ہوتا, نہ پبلک کے سامنے پیش کیا جاتا ہے. لسٹ تو 4 آدمی بیٹھتے ہیں آپس میں, اس پہ نہیں جائیں گے کہ کون کون اس پہ آتے ہیں. کوئی کرائٹیریا نہیں ہے کہ اس کو پرانے ورکر کو دیا جائے, نئے ورکر کے گھر کے بندوں کو دیا جائے یا باہر کے لوگوں کو دیا جائے.
May I, with your lordship's leave, complete my answer to the first question and then immediately attend to it. I don't intend to walk away from it in any manner. So, my lord, your lordship is absolutely right. The list is put to the people, and the people vote. And as I was submitting, they know that an indirect consequence may be that certain people will get elected. That is what I understand from the word elected in Article 51, because every word has to be given a meaning in the context of the Constitution.
But you will perhaps agree that even in the way you have formulated it, in a sense, in the very formulation, this is giving the word election a meaning different from that otherwise understood.
My lord,
In the Constitution, I mean,
yes,
elsewhere
in terms of 226,
that's just one example.
Yes,
otherwise,
but-
دیکھیں نا, president کا بھی الیکشن ہوتا ہے,
جی سر,
اس کا بھی ایک اپنا الیکٹوریٹ ہے,
جی
وہ پورا اپنا شیڈیول دیا ہوا ہے, الیکشن ہوتا ہے, اگر ایک سے زیادہ کینڈیڈیٹ ہو, کنٹیسٹ ہوتا ہے, وغیرہ وغیرہ. جو ایک جنرل الیکشن میں, اف یو لک ایٹ اٹ ایٹ اے ہائی لیول آف جنرالٹی, وہی چیزیں ہو رہی ہیں پریزیڈنٹ کے الیکشن میں جو ادھر ہو رہی ہیں. اسی طرح سینٹ الیکشن میں وہ بھی, ان کی بھی اب اپنی الیکٹوریٹ ہے, اپنا وہ سب کچھ ہے, چیزیں وہی ہو رہی ہیں. آئی مین ایٹ اے ہائر لیول آف جنرالٹی چیزیں وہی, ایوری ون کین سے یہ الیکشن ہو رہا ہے. یہاں پہ ایٹ فرسٹ سائٹ, سو وی ہیو ٹو انٹرپریٹ, ایٹ فرسٹ سائٹ کوئی الیکشن ہو ہی نہیں رہا. آپ کہہ رہے ہیں کہ نہیں جی ہو رہا ہے, لیکن اس طریقے سے جو آپ کی فارمولیشن ہے, میں صرف یہ سمجھنا چاہ رہا ہوں, جو کیونکہ ود آل ڈیو ریسپیکٹ آپ کی فارمولیشن سے مجھے یہ لگ رہا ہے کہ جی ہیئر دا ورڈ از بینگ یوزڈ ان اے slightly different sense, and if one word in a slightly different sense for purposes of paragraph D and no other purpose, then why not political party? Why not other words as used here?
it brings in, it says, shall be elected in accordance with law. Now, that is the election I submit takes place because the list goes to
Accordance
the
with the
people.
law does not mean section 104.
Lord, it means section 104 and it means read with section 62.
There is no election.
My lord, the submission is that
آپ مجھے الیکشن دکھا دیں. چلیں,
elections,
آپ پارٹ یہ جو کلاس ڈی اور ای ہے, پیراگراف ڈی اور ای, آپ اسے مجھے دکھا دیں کوئی الیکشن ہو رہا ہو.
sir, my submission for whatever it is worth is that this list goes to
As
the people.
ordinarily understood.
Yes, but this list, the Constitution generally,
اب دیکھیں, اگر ہم اس باتوں میں ہم پھنس جائیں گے نا, تو آپ کے ہم سبمیشنز تو کبھی سن نہیں پائیں گے. بہت سے لوگوں کو سننا ہے آج, ٹھیک ہے, اور آج ہی اس کو کنکلوڈ بھی کرنا ہے. سو برا نہ مانیے, اب آپ کو مجھے بار بار, اٹس مائی پینفل ڈیوٹی ٹو ریمائنڈ ایوری باڈی وتھ نو ڈسریسپیکٹ ٹو اینی ون. تو الیکشن کب ہوتا ہے؟ جب ان اپوز کینڈیڈیٹ آ جاتا ہے, ہوتا ہے الیکشن, بٹ اٹ از کنسیڈرڈ ٹو بی این الیکشن. ان اپوز بھی تو آ جاتا ہے نا, کس نے اس کو چنا؟ کسی نے نہیں چنا اس کو. تو آگے بڑھے نا, اپنا کریں کہ آگے دوسروں کو بھی ہم سن لیں ذرا جلدی سے.
yes, my lord, may I proceed further? Election in accordance with law. Now, how is that taking place?
اس سے آئین نے ایک طریقہ کار تعین کر لیا,
وہ طریقہ کار کیا ہے؟
آئین بنایا, وہ جانے یہ کام.
Through proportional representation system, that's the system which is in place. That's how this election is to take place. Of political parties' lists of candidates. These are the lists which go to the general electorate, but the basis will be what? The basis is not the popular vote. Previously it was, now it is not, on the basis of total number of general seats secured by each political party.
Now you're
from the
repeating
province.
yourself. We've
My
heard
lord,
this.
so the
Go ahead.
The simple submission is that when the political party wins the general seats, that determines the election. My lord, if there was no proviso, for instance, then the independents were totally out of this mix. Because the engine,
Proviso brings in the independence.
the engine for election to a reserved seat is a political party. Without that vehicle, you don't get there. The exception is the proviso. The proviso says that the total number of, so it makes an exception. Where is the exception? The total number of general seats won by a political party shall include the independent returned candidates who join within a certain specified time limit. So those independents will get a say under paragraph D if they join a political party within 3 days. Now, but the words used are won by a political party, that's talking about general seats, shall include the independent returned candidates. Include is in addition to something. So they have a general seat, you include the independents and then you count them. A party which has no general seat at all, that the proviso is not attracted to them. The second submission is that even under paragraph D, the requirement is of a political party's lists of candidates. You don't have to go to the proviso. If there is no list of candidates, that political party has chosen to opt out of the women's seats at that time. As my Lord the Chief Justice said, this may be a situation where they're saying, we are not putting up a candidate for election to this particular seat. If no list is submitted, they are saying, we are not putting up a candidate for 60 seats. Now, what happens? If those independents join and join a political party which has no list, they are not exercising even the judgment for their electorate as to which list they're voting for. If this was a political party which had a list, then when an independent walked into that political party, he was exercising a conscious judgment that as a consequence of this decision, the result would be that the people on this list will get elected. If I walk into party A instead of party B, certain independents will get elected. No conscious exercise of choice by an independent candidate takes place over here in terms of the proviso.
Mr. Razum, there may be one other scenario. It could be by a conscious decision. For instance, let's take the present case. The manifesto of this political party says no non-Muslims. So they may elect, we are not going to submit a non-Muslim list because this is a manifesto. We'll put, as Americans say, put our money where our mouth is. And we will only give names for women. So that could be a conscious decision. It could be a default setting also. Oh, this dena thi bhul gaye. Consequences would be immaterial. I mean, we will go by the text of the Constitution.
The consequences would be exactly the same as for an election on the general seat where a person doesn't file a nomination paper. Will the election schedule be rewritten for him? My respectful submission is no. If he hasn't filed a nomination paper, if that paper...
On a lighter note, someone used to get up every morning and pray to the Almighty, prize bond mera nikala hai, prize bond mera nikala hai. उसके दोस्त ने पूछा, आपने प्राइज बॉन्ड खरीदा है? उन्होंने कहा नहीं. उन्होंने कहा नहीं. रूल्स ऑफ द गेम नहीं निकलेगा ना जब तक आप पार्टिसिपेट नहीं करोगे किसी चीज में. अब उन्होंने फैसला कर लिया नहीं करना, हम क्या करें उनको?
My submission...
उन्होंने कहा कि हम इस गाड़ी में चलना चाहते हैं, भाई हम क्या करें?
My submission...
Keeping in view the importance of the representative character of the Constitution, and as pointed out by the other honorable members of this bench, what principle of interpretation would we apply? Would it be strict scrutiny review, or we will have a lesser bar? Because ultimately, that will of the people, which has never been given importance, you see, that has to be guarded. So what principle of interpretation will we apply?
My Lord, your Lordship should be primarily guided by the text of the Constitution.
So you are not, you are saying that despite the importance, the strict scrutiny review principle will not apply.
My Lord, strict scrutiny of what?
Sorry?
Strict scrutiny of what? The Election Act 2017, the general atmosphere in the country.
Everything, because it's the electorate.
Then, my Lord,
It's the Constitution.
then, my Lord, put these pleadings aside and take suo motu notice and convene another bench.
That is what I had suggested yesterday. And the petitions are pending. We were informed by the petitioner himself that petitions are pending. Why should this court keep those petitions pending if they are so important? And this matter, and we are now only restricting ourselves to the pleadings by ignoring those petitions.
My Lord, that is a question, may I say with great respect, you are asking a question which you know better than me that I cannot answer. Why is a petition pending in this court is not a question which a council can answer. It is for you to answer, and you may answer it the way you like.
That takes us up.
नहीं, sir. Sir,
प्लीज
Makhtoom Sahab, that takes us to that
अच्छा, ठीक है,
principle
आप
of
आगे
strict
चलें ना।
scrutiny review.
My Lord, I will not go by formula. My Lord,
complete your submissions.
My Lord, yes.
Mr. Makhtoom,
आपके कहने का मकसद ये है कि जो पार्टीज बेशक इलेक्शन जीत के जनरल सीट भी जीती हो, अगर उन्होंने लिस्ट जमा नहीं की तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के आर्टिकल 51D के मुताबिक बकौल आपके कि वो इंटाइटल्ड नहीं है कि वो सीट्स, सपोज अगर वो नहीं है तो वो फिर सीट्स कहाँ जाएंगी?
First, the answer to first part is yes. And I submit with the utmost humility at my command that the answer is yes, because your lordships will not force a political party in a particular situation to definitely submit a list to assign. Oh, I'm sorry, my lord, the mic is, the red lights are on over here, but I don't know whether the voice is carrying through or not.
You are away from the mic.
So may I submit? It becomes very difficult, my lord, to read from the paper and be close to the mic. But I'm getting used to it. My lord, the submission is that insofar as the first part is concerned, a political party may, as my lord the Chief Justice observed, choose not to seek election to any one of the reserved seats, whether for women or for minorities.
Or for both.
Or for both. And if that were to happen, will you...
उनका असूली मौक़िफ़ है कि हम आइन में तब्दीली करेंगे, हम इस पे बिलीव नहीं करते।
जी बिल्कुल।
ये भी हो सकता है उनका मैनिफेस्टो में।
If that is their view, that they do not want to contest the elections, now what happens? By failing to file nomination papers, will that seat go vacant? My lord, what happens in the case of a general seat, to draw an analogy, when a nomination paper is not filed by any other contesting candidates, the one who has filed the paper gets the seat, even though no voting takes place on it. The submission over here is that if they have not filed the list, in a way that's an indication that they have not put up a candidate for this list. Now, the submission is the vehicle for allocation of seats in terms of Article 51 of the Constitution is the total number of general seats secured by each political party. It is only the political party which is the vehicle to get a general seat. Now,
What is the political party?
Each political party does not include the party which does not opt to file list.
Obviously not.
Political party पर कौन है? Who is a
Political parties are the parties which have filed a political party's lists of candidates.
So you're saying that Article 51D is the governing provision of this, or the governing words here are the lists. If you file a political party's list, then you are a political party. But if you don't file the list, you're not a political party.
That is not at all my submission, with
Then
great respect.
what does it mean?
No, the submission is that a political party, with great respect, choose not to file a list. And if it does it decides to field candidates, you may contest, you are my members, but you may contest as independents, whatever. No list is filed. The proportion over here is not the proportion on the basis of the whoever gets elected. The proportion is how many seats a party has got. To take my Lord Mr. Justice Mansoor Ali Shah's example, which he gave, if all independents get elected and only 2 candidates are elected from a political party or 1 candidate from a political party, it's a hard answer. But the proportion is that it is 60 seats on the text of the Constitution. Unless you rewrite the Constitution and unless you rewrite the law, in order to give what is called the so-called progressive or creative interpretation, your lordships will have to hold that Section 104 of the Election Act and a number of its provisions are meaningless. Section 60 and its provisions are meaningless. A party which has not submitted a list for the reserved seats can post-elections come and say, I didn't do it, but now I want these seats. And now therefore have another election schedule issued for me. Allow me to submit a list of persons for the reserved seats and allocate these seats to me on the basis of the general seats, or allow me to get elected. The result is what? The result is it becomes even more undemocratic. Your lordships are struggling with the concept, and I, my lord, am too, that the will of the people gets ignored. But over here, if you accept this remark that they should be given these seats, because now there should be a new formula for them, this list has never gone to the people. This political party is saying, today I will decide which are the 60 women or 50 women or whatever is the share who will get into the National Assembly. This list has not been scrutinized. It can be scrutinized now. This list was not, no priority was assigned on this list. That can be assigned now, but that priority would be meaningless because they would know exactly the number of
At
seats they're
best,
getting.
that would mean that they don't get the seat. How does it mean that the other parties get the seat?
Because only the proportion has to be from the political parties which have given the lists. You
And
simply
so what
cannot
happens
allow
to
a
the-
political party to
What
derail the
happens to
process.
the latter part on the basis of total number of general seats secured or won by the party?
Yes, so let's say to take my Lord Mr. Mansoor Ali Shah's
That's
example.
not the right example to give because it's working on a very extreme level and we want to keep the
I wouldn't dare
example
to say
balanced.
that, but I will follow your ladyship's example.
आप देख लें ना, आप in the current scenario देख लें, this is an election in which there are more independents that have won in the National Assembly and in the provincial assemblies. Now, in this scenario where there are more independents that have won seats compared to the political parties, you're saying that because these independents are not going to can't join a political party, or the party they've joined is not a political party, so everything now pivots on the basis of the remaining accepted political parties, and the reserved seats will be distributed amongst them.
Your ladyship, these independents.
I am having problems with the proportionality here.
May I submit? Yes, there is no problem with the proportionality, and I will submit why. These independents, as your ladyship heard yesterday, had 13 choices before them. There were 13 political parties which had a general seat and which had given lists of reserved seats for women. They chose not to join them. And there's a very simple reason why they chose not to join them. The reason is that if they had joined any one of those 13 parties, they would have been tied to the list which that political party had given. They could not have revised that list. That list had been put to the people. That list they would have been tied to. They could have gone further than that only when that list was exhausted. That list was not exhausted. So they chose an expression which I wouldn't like to use, but which has been bandied about over here. They chose an off-the-shelf political party.
If we go by this theory, it would mean that it would open the doors of negotiations with independent candidates, because you would tip the balance that would come out of what the electorate has done. Because now you are looking to get more independents so that you get more reserved seats. And going to a party which has secured no seats at all means that there's nothing, no balance is being tipped over here. So that is essential. That's what Justice Muneeb said on the very first day, that it's necessary to see कि electorate में से जो vote निकल रहा है, वो ही proportionately represent represent karega na house.
But the system of proportional representation is based on the list of political parties on the basis of general
That's
seats
your
secured.
argument.
That's my argument. That's my submission.
Interestingly, that argument means that where on the first date, say we look at the Punjab Provincial Assembly, I'm looking at the Election Commission's reply, and they've given the breakup on page 19 and 20. So if you look at the seats for the National Assembly, initially 22 to 24 ko PMLN and PPP sare breakdown diye, they were given, so PMLN is right at the top, was given 17 seats, right? On 4-3-24, they're given an additional 10 seats, bringing their total number of seats to 27. Now, there is a difference between 17 seats, which is worked out on some proportion, and a difference of 27, which is worked out on some other proportion. And so there you see that there is a problem here. This can't be that 17 seats भी proportional representation है और 27 seats भी proportional representation है.
My ladyship.
इसका मतलब तो यही बन रहा है ना, आप तो यही कह रहे हैं.
नहीं, बिल्कुल भी
जी, अगर वो पॉलिटिकल पार्टी वो रहती तो फिर 17 हो जाते, और क्योंकि वो पॉलिटिकल पार्टी नहीं है तो 27 हो गए.
Ladyship.
और आप कहते हैं ये प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी को डिस्टर्ब नहीं करता.
That's my submission, and it doesn't disturb the proportionality because the proportionality has to be on the basis of the political parties list. That's the Constitution's word. May I go a little further? The first allocation was on the basis when these seats were in dispute. If they were, let us assume that these were genuine independents. These persons were genuine independents and they did not join any political party. Will the allocation change or not? The allocation
See,
will
when
still
you're
change.
talking about genuine
The allocation would not
independence,
change because-
that would be a limited number.
No, the allocation on your example would not change because there the first allocation would do it.
Yes.
See, the question here is that there is a reallocation. There are two allocations. That is the problem. आप जो मिसाल दे रहे हैं ना कि they are true independents, तो वो तो पहली एलोकेशन पे ही बात खत्म हो जाती है. तो ये मसला ये आ रहा है कि जी पहले एलोकेशन हो गई जिनका वो रूट जिस कैंडिडेट की वो पीएमएलएन थी या पीपल पार्टी थी या जेयूआईपी थी या व्हाटएवर इट वाज, उसके ओवर एंड अबव दैट उसमें तो कोई झगड़ा कर ही नहीं रहा ना. ओवर एंड अबव दैट आप एक रीएलोकेशन कर रहे हैं ना. तो आपकी एग्जांपल विद ऑल ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट इज
No, my lord, maybe it was not elegantly phrased.
No, that's the question.
I can never frame it as elegantly as your lordship, but may I make an
Concluded on this point.
इसको इस तरह मखदूम
My
साहब,
lord,
Have you concluded on this point?
My lord, with one sentence may I conclude? My submission is that if you exclude the independents, the constitution, if there are independents who do not join a political party, then the provisos are not reached. Then the allocation takes place on the basis of the principal provision itself. For the proviso to kick in, the independent need to join a political party which has won a political seat, and then in that event they will be included for the purposes of calculation. When they join a political party which has not won a single seat, on my submission, in that case, the proviso doesn't kick in. Second, my submission is that the proviso also will not kick in, where under the main provision itself, there is no list of political parties. That was the submission I was trying to make. I'm sorry.
Have you concluded on this point?
Yes,
So
this
can
was the
I
point
a
of the-
thought occurred to me which was triggered by what Justice Jamal Khan had said. And it makes me look at things very differently. I also thought about Justice Shah's comment on the principles. I don't subscribe to the principle theory, but I do subscribe to the literal interpretation of the Constitution theory. We are all talking about why don't we ask the basic and fundamental question which nobody has asked, which nobody has addressed yet, which I'm grateful to my colleague for having figured it in my mind, is this proportional representation only to bulk up political parties, or there is something far more fundamental? And what is that far more fundamental things? To bring in the participation of women and to bring in the participation of non-Muslims. Now, do I gain support for this from the Constitution? There is Article 25 with particular reference to subclause 3. Zara aap dekh lein, padh lein zara please. Then I'll go to the 2 other provisions.
Lord, yes, nothing in this article shall prevent the state from making any special provision for the protection of women and children.
Otherwise, somebody could challenge this provision and saying, but this is unconstitutional. How can you give these women, aaye lade, मैदान में aaye, खड़ी हो, हमसे मुकाबला करें और जीते हैं. It could be struck down. This saves it. Then you turn to the principles of policy now, please. First read 34.
Steps shall be taken to ensure full participation of women in all spheres of national life.
Now read 36.
State shall safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of minorities, including their due representation in the federal and provincial services.
Now, if we take the scenario that to leave these seats empty, you may be penalizing one or the other political party, but who you're certainly penalizing are non-Muslims and women. Non-Muslims and women, whether they are in one party or not, presumably would protect their interests, their respective interests, if we consider their interests as something else, and presumably we do. Otherwise, there was no need for this provision in the Constitution. So this, I must acknowledge Justice Jamal Sahab for triggering this thought in my mind that why are we only talking about the political parties? At least whether it's of political party A or political party B, the women numbers in the National Assembly go up. Whether it's political party A or B, the numbers of non-Muslims go up. So I think it would be very fair and be doing violence to both these segments, these very important segments of society, to throw them out and just read this provision completely separately from the fact that this provision is there for their benefit, not there for the benefit of the political party. That may be an added benefit to the political party, but that segment of population comes in representative in A, B, or C political party. That segment will have a voice, that segment will talk, that segment will legislate. What do you have to say on that?
My Lord, I bow to that observation. May I say that to add further, I know your Lordship doesn't like a reference to some of the checkered history, but it is part of our history.
So I like a reference to history, our history, and to learn from it.
My Lord, the lesson from our history is that there was a period of time when there were separate electorates in that country. And when those separate electorates were done away with, it was thought that the result, while the result may be good to bring the nation together, one of the consequences may be that no one from the minorities may get elected. So definitely this number of minorities seats and the women's seats are part of the affirmative action by persons who were amending the Constitution or making the Constitution at that time. This is affirmative action. And of course, the immediate beneficiary will be the minorities and women who will have a greater representation in the National Assembly. The consequential beneficiaries, or we may say equal beneficiaries, will be political parties, because the vehicle for getting these seats is made by the Constitution to be a political party. Previously, there used to be that let's look at the total percentage of votes which are secured in the general election and let us exclude anyone who gets less than 5% of votes. That was another formula. All of these